Hi everyone and welcome to this lesson. This lesson is all about watercolor paint. So watercolor paint can come in two forms. It can come in a tube. Inside the paint is wet, and it can come in pans, which is these small boxes that comes with dry paint in them. Basically it's the same paint from here, already dry. I personally use the tubes, but I don't use the paint straight out of the tube. I leave it to dry for a day. So I put it in my set and I leave it to dry. Whenever one is finished, so I refill it, leave it to dry for a day. I find it better, I don't know why. I mean, this is supposed to be exactly the same, like letting a paint dry out of the tube, but I find that this is better for me. So watercolor paint has a lot of brands and the price is there's a lot of products in different prices. When I just started with watercolors, I still use some of these paints. Some of these paints are still in this set. So this is a set of 18 tubes and it costs 40 shekels, 39 shekels, which is $10. And it's not bad. It's really not bad. Like, let me show you paintings that I've done with it. This one and this one. But for example, this one is on much more expensive and better, like 100% cotton paint. And while this one is on a cheaper paper. So you can see the difference. So it also depends on the paper. So the better quality all your products are, the better it is. Like, this is expensive paper and expensive paint. You can see like the pigment is really so the difference is that the cheaper the paint is, the less pigment it has. It's less in quality, but as beginners it's good to find like a cheap brand to buy like a set like this and just practice. And then slowly what I did is I bought expensive tubes, like one by one, which I'm going to use in a different palette that's only going to be like, this is cheap and expensive tubes mixed, and I'm going to make another palette for all of my expensive tubes that I buy, like every couple of days I buy one. So I have this one. This is Danielle Smith Extra Fine Water. This is my most expensive tube. It costed me more than this whole set, like more than $10 for this one tube. The color is amazing. I bought turquoise. Patello turquoise? I don't know. Some sort of turquoise. It's really like, wow, amazing paint. I have some Windsor Newton Cotman edition. Now Windsor Newton has the professional edition, which is much better than this one. This is Cotman brand. It's mostly for students and practice. It's not as cheap as Marie's colors, but it's not as expensive as Danielle Smith's. So Windsor Newton Cotman, if you want to step forward, this is what you're gonna get. This is what I thought, this is what I did. I bought this tube, but then I went to a different art shop which didn't have Windsor Newton, and the seller told me that I should try Van Gogh. So I did, and it's cheaper than this one. It has more in it. It's like 10 milliliter, and this is 8 milliliters. It costs less, it's cheaper, and I want to tell you, it's amazing. Actually, if you're stepping up of your cheap colors, look for Van Gogh ones. I think they're better than Windsor and Newton Cotman, actually. And this is by far the best one I had. Again, this is the Danielle Smith's Extra Fine ones. Also, I just recently learned that it has no animal products involved, in case you care about that. This and the Windsor and Newton Cotmans are the only one that doesn't have animal products in it. All the rest does. In case you are into that. So I think we said all there is to say. Let's try them on paper. Let's see the differences. Okay, so what we need to do in order to use the watercolor paint is to wet it a little bit because it's dry. We can't use it when it's dry. So you can use water straight out of the brush and just wet the paint. Or I like to use a spray bottle and spray all the paint, all the colors. Here. This is the Danielle Smith, this is the Van Gogh, and Windsor and Newton is here, this one. Okay, so let's see. We need to play with the water a little bit to awaken the pigment. And let's just test the colors, the different quality. So we want to get a good amount of pigment on our brush, and a good amount of water, but no more water than pigment, more pigment than water for this one. So I want to dab out of excessive water out of my brush, and I'm gonna paint like a bulk here with the Danielle Smith fine watercolor, extra fine. Okay, and then I want to take some pigment off my brush, get rid of excessive water, and wet the surface next to it a little bit, and go to the, and again, take pigment off my brush, get rid of excessive water, and then start near and approach. Yes. Now I'm gonna get rid of all of the pigment on my brush, and I'm gonna meet the color. I'm gonna go up. Yeah. I want to see how it spreads. You see, it spreads nicely. Let's do another thing that I like to do in order to see the full range of the color. I go with a lot of pigment, a little bit of water. I do a square. I take all of the pigment off my brush. I get rid of excessive water, and I just touch the pigment with my wet brush. Do it again. So it gives you the darkest value and the lightest value of this color. Let's do another one like that, but this time let's get rid of all the pigment from our brush, take excessive water off, and you see it's a nice spread. Okay, let's try the next expensive one. So this is the Danielle Smith Extra Fine. It's the most expensive tube I have. Let's try the Windsor and Newton one. Cotman edition, yeah, not the professional, I have to say. It's the Cotman. So a lot of pigment. Not that much. Okay, let's see. Get rid of pigment and excessive water. Let's do one like this. More pigment. Get rid of the pigment from my brush. You see, there is too much water in this square. It's a puddle. You see, it looks like it's called a puddle. What you want to do to get rid of this puddle is dry your brush completely and absorb some water. Okay. Now. Okay. So let's try the Van Gogh one. I'm going to try the Perusian Blue. I hope I'm saying it right. Perusian Blue. Which is my favorite color, by the way. So, yeah. I think Van Gogh is my favorite. Wait, I have to decline a call, sorry. So, let's do a circle. Get more water. And now I'm gonna get rid of all the pigment on my brush and do another circle right next to it, because I want them to touch each other, but only with water. So I'm gonna start. Okay, I have a little bit of pigment still on my brush. Okay, it's fine. And then I'm gonna expand the circle. Yes. Nice. Just love this Perusian blue color. You can push the pigment. So I also have cobalt blue, Van Gogh cobalt blue, which is more traditional blue. And I want to show you my Marie, the cheap palette that I have. Remember the $10 set of 18 colors? Let's try water. Let's try the Ultramarine Blue that I have in this set. I just want to show you that it's not that bad. You can totally start with it. By the way, I saw it selling on AliExpress. I think you can order it from there. You see, it's not that bad. It doesn't spread as quickly and as wildly as the Danielle Smith and even the Van Gogh one, but it does spread because I have even cheaper watercolor. I'm not gonna bring it here to show you. It's just, you know, like kindergarten level. Let's try the violet from my cheap set. Oh, look what happened. They touched, and the pigment is so strong in the Perusian Blue, the Van Gogh one, it spreaded into the other one. This is the happiest accident. I love it when it happens. See? Not that bad. Let's mix the really expensive one, Danielle Smith one, with one of my cheap Marie's one. Let's do the turquoise and mix it with cerulean blue. Let's see what happens. More turquoise. interesting. I usually don't use the colors as they come, by the way. 99% of cases I mix paints, I mix colors, because I think that's how you get the best ones and the most original ones. I just want to see what happens quality wise. So let's, I don't know. This is a really, really nice color that we got. Let's add a bit more of cerulean blue. Even more. Okay. I think this is my next favorite color. Let's put more of the cerulean blue because it's still very turquoise. Nice color. Very nice color. And you can see it spreads nicely because it's mostly the good one. Now it's mostly the cerulean blue. So it's cool that you can mix cheap and expensive color and get good results, like good quality of color. You see how fast it spreads? Let's just... Okay, I think that's it about color. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love for you to put them on the comment section. Thanks guys, bye.